All right, Mark Daniel, welcome back to the podcast. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
Hey, it's an honor to return. Hello, Connie. How you doing?
Hey, I'm so excited.
And I want to say hello to all your listeners and viewers, and let's unlock some magic.
Yes. That's what we're going to do today. We have a whole bunch of questions for you.
Yes.
From us and from people who listen to the podcast and are in our group. So it's going to be a fun time. I'm excited to have you.
All right. It's always a fun time with Bruce and Connie.
And Mark.
It's
always a fun time with you too.
Mark, low expectations though. That's the key, right?
Oh yeah. Okay. I'm gonna.
Hold on. I gotta switch cameras here because my shirt says low expectations. Like that's my.
Oh, there it is.
I feel like if you go in everything with low expectations, it's always a little bit better, right?
It's always better. It's been our philosophy for a little bit.
I've never had fun lowering my expectations, and I just did. I'm still having fun lowering.
There you go.
I'm like, okay.
That's the thing, right? Like I'd like to explain it like this, Mark.
Okay.
You go to a movie, right?
Right.
And you see the reviews are really great. Your friends are talking about it like it's the most amazing movie ever. And then you go watch it and you're like, that was okay.
Yeah.
But then you go to a movie, you go to Green Rotten Tomatoes and it says 27. You go in with a really low expectation, like, that wasn't a bad movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. And sometimes trailers tell a different story.
Yes.
That's true.
That is true.
You assume, and it's sometimes disappointing. If I really like a movie, it's really hard. But if I for instance, I think I'm a big Predator fan. So when Prey came out, people were sending me stuff, and I was like, I wouldn't look at it. I would just stop. There's so I watched. What I did though is when a movie's coming out, I watched the teaser, but not the trailer.
Smart.
What's the difference?
Yeah, there's a difference. So sometimes, and especially when it's open, then you definitely don't want to see the trailer because then they add way too much. But the teaser, if I'm really excited and I want to not set my expectations, like you say, I'll do teaser and then I'm out.
Sometimes the trailers say the whole story and it gives away the entire movie and you're like, meh, maybe I won't go see that. And it ends up, and it probably would have been a great movie, but you're just like, So a teaser is a good idea.
So what have you been up to, Mark? How's Disney life treating you?
It's good. We're trying to get back to normal here at Walt Disney World. A lot of entertainment is returning. That's good. More entertainment to return.
Yeah.
I've been having a good time working, doing events are coming back. So events are when companies buy out the parks.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times they have actors for that. So those have been coming back as well, which is good. People are traveling, doing events away from their home states. And we're just getting back online. A lot of the shows have recently gone back to the post-COVID blocking. And what I mean by that is a lot of shows changed because of COVID when they came back, the shows that did come back after COVID, and we still had our social distancing.
Yeah.
And then we also, even after social distancing was gone, we still kind of social distance without masks. And now we're back to post-COVID show blocking in a lot of the shows, so that's exciting.
That's super exciting. So we just recently saw Indiana Jones. We were there. We didn't get to see you. We were bummed about that, but when we were there, I was looking for you. When we were there, we noticed. So right now, they're still not having extras come on. So guests from Do you think that will change going forward? Do you think that will be brought back as well? Because that was
we're all
yeah.
All the performers are hoping for that. All of our fingers are crossed. We all love that aspect of the show. The guests love that aspect of the show.
Yeah.
And it's something that we hope to return. At the end of the day, it's not our decision.
Right.
But we hope it does return. And if people wanted to return, hey, you know what? You can send letters.
I'm about to, because what was I seeing the other day? Because I love that part of it. I mean, the show is great as is, right? I still, when I watch it, I feel like I'm just transported into that young girl that just, first was introduced to Indiana Jones. And I just absolutely love it. But I also love the fact that guests could have, participated. And that was really fun to see, a friend of yours on there with the real actors, But I got tricked the other day on April Fools. I don't know if you got tricked at all, but there were some amazing posts on April Fools. And one of them happened to be Universal. I don't know if you saw it, but they did a post. I almost, because we have this thing where we try to, on YouTube, we sometimes do some current event stuff that's happening in the parks just to give people an outlook of what to expect on their next trip. And Universal did this post about a show coming back live with extras, and it looked fantastic. Like you were, the audience was the person and I got so excited and I almost did a whole YouTube video until I discovered, probably took me a good hour.
Oh
I was
no.
fooled. Yeah, that it was just an April Fool's joke. But then it got me thinking to Indiana Jones and how much it just reminded me of how much I really love that part of it, being an extra.
Yeah, it's a fun part, and I think it's the real heart of the show.
Yeah.
As a person that saw it before I was a part of the show, before I even did the show, I went to see it. And since they knew me because we all worked at the studios, they pulled me in and I was a guest. And I remember how much fun it was and how I really felt like I was a part of the show. So I think it would be something that's very valuable. I think it's why the show lasted as long. We've picked people that said, I've been coming here since before I was old enough to get into the show and I finally made it.
Oh.
There's people that say, oh, this is my second time being in the show. I mean, people want to be a part of it. And I think it really embodied at the time what the studios was about. The studios was about going behind the scenes in filmmaking. I mean, the sign outside says hot set, extras needed. And it was true.
Yeah.
So it really brought those elements of the storytelling of Disney's MGM studios back then, and still Disney's Hollywood studios. I know they try to be more immersive now with their storytelling,
right?
But Indiana Jones is just that, man. It's visceral, and it's people want to be a part of it. It's just so cool to be that close to those effects and those stunt people.
Plus, it's one of the top things that you can legitimately bring snacks in with you.
Listen to Bruce. Bruce, that's how you gauge things?
Yeah. Like you can bring snacks in there with you and enjoy the show while you're eating some snacks. Like that's the best part.
Listen, they have a bar back there.
They do?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He literally just wants to do a whole episode about snacking on attractions, like which attractions.
Which attractions can you legally bring snacks on and enjoy?
I like it. And Indiana Jones will be up there, man.
Totally,
that's awesome. I like it. I don't think anybody's done that. Like grade an attraction on what you can eat on it.
We'll be the first.
Leave it to me. Leave it to me, Mark. I'll take care of that.
Hopefully, people will listen.
Think it with his stomach.
Being selected in Indiana Jones is kind of like being selected as the spy, right? It's
on Star Tours.
It bumps up the attraction, and it's one of those things that no matter how many times you see Indiana Jones, there's always a chance. If that comes back, there's always a chance that if you're
selected
in the right area or you're active enough while they're trying to select, you could be picked, and it's like an extra. It's almost like the anticipation to go to Disney is part of the trip too. That's like part of the show too. Anticipating being selected.
Well, that's a big part of the entertainment at Disney. I remember when I learned a show at Disney's Animal Kingdom, it was kind of like so Streetmosphere were the actors that used to be at Disney's Hollywood Studios, Disney MGM Studios. They were like starlets and stars from that time frame. And so I got to perform not as a Streetmosphere character or actor, but at Dinoland USA as a grad student. But I remember when we were writing our shows, there was always a moment to point somebody out, and we'd say like that guy, like we'd make a joke and point to someone, and so that storyline keeps going. If you go to Monsters Inc., they'll pick that guy. And what I noticed is, when guests go to the park, and if everybody goes to see Beauty and the Beast, let's say you went to see Beauty and the Beast, a lot of times they move as a group and don't even realize it. So they might go to Beauty and the Beast, and the majority of people, when the show ends, will just follow people.
Oh,
so,
like the guests, you mean?
Yeah, the guests. Sorry, yeah. So I'm talking about, let's say a show ends, right? So let's say you watch Beauty and the Beast. Let's imagine you're at Disney's Hollywood Studios, and Beauty and the Beast ends, and they just start letting you throughout the exits. Depending on what exit you go out of, when they put you back on Sunset Boulevard, there is no direction on where to go unless you want to go to Toy Story Land or you want to head over to Galaxy's Edge. So depending on where you come out, you might see Rock and Roller Coaster and just go, start walking to that courtyard, or Tower of Terror. And then people will just follow you because they're just like, this is where everyone's going. So what's really cool is when you get picked as that guy or you're featured in a show, you kind of become a celebrity.
That whole day. Yeah,
that whole day, because people remember you, say, oh, that's that guy. Or we saw you in the show. You were great. True.
That's so awesome.
So that's just another little piece of the magic of Disney of trying to make people have a good time. So
yeah, I love. What's so funny you say that is we went on Laugh Floor. It was probably 7 or 8 years ago, in we went with my sister and
Bruce,
her family. So there was like 11 of us.
Full disclosure, it's really hard to get him on the inside.
Yeah, I never want to be that guy. Let's just put that.
So it's really hard for him to get on that.
But we went with our family, and there was a guy who got selected as that guy. And the way he was just like a guy from, I think he was from Costa Rica. And I don't know if he didn't speak English that well, so they kept asking him questions, and he just kept saying Costa Rica. Because we just kept giving the same answer, but we still talk about that guy today.
Yeah.
It was like so many years later, we remember that
we wanted to be
experience at that attraction at that time. So many years later, it's so funny you say that.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. And you probably see him say, "Hey, it's Costa Rica."
Yeah, exactly. We just say, "Hey, Costa Rica guy."
It's just so much fun. Yeah, well, the energy is what it's all about too, and I love that high energy and that feeling that you get. Like you said, it's just like that magic that really is what Disney's all about. And to me, like that's the best of it. I try when I go to the parks now, because we get to go. I'm so grateful that we get to go pretty often. I try to make somebody's day a little brighter by doing something or saying something, just to, sometimes it can be a place where it's hot, you're kind of can be overwhelmed, and it's just these little touches, a little magic that can happen, and I think can turn things around for you.
Mark, I got to ask you a controversial question.
Okay.
Have you ever been to Universal?
Oh yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I do. I love it. I have I'm an annual pass holder.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'll say it. I'll be proud of it.
Okay,
it's good to keep an eye on the competition.
That's true, right? It keeps you on your toes, doesn't it?
It keeps you on your toes. Yeah. And we're all about entertainment. Let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all something, okay? And when you're gonna perform in Orlando, you working. You're gonna work at wherever you can find work. Many people work at both theme parks. There is no competition clause. There's nothing. We are working.
Oh, really? So you can work at both, even though they're like, neat, interesting.
100%.
That's so neat.
Yeah, back in the day when I was working at Disney, I'd be running over to my next shift at Universal.
Oh, wow.
That's so cool.
Definitely, because we're all actors, right? So, and not only that, we're blue collar workers, So it's not like we're signing a contract that says you can't do such and such, So yeah, a lot of performers work in all theme parks: SeaWorld, Universal, Busch Gardens, Legoland. I mean, we're all working. But I love Universal. I love the Wizarding World.
Yeah, that's great.
And most of the Imagineers who did Galaxy's Edge did Wizarding World. I mean, those people are freelance, So they're working in different places. But,
all right, I feel better about that question now.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what though, if you're looking for, I like both parks, and they have different energy. But if you're looking for the magic, I feel like you get the magic at Walt Disney World. There's a difference, and I'm biased. Disney's my bread and butter. I love Walt Disney. I love the Disney company, but I can't say it's better. It really depends on the flavor you want at that time. Yeah. And sometimes you want the flavor of Magic Kingdom and Disney World, and sometimes you want the flavor of the excitement of the adrenaline of a Universal. I think Universal sells adrenaline and Disney sells that nostalgia and the magic.
Yeah, I think Connie and I have two ways to describe that. Her way is, Disney is magical and Universal is fun. Mm-hmm. My way is Disney is like that aunt that you love going over her house when you're a kid, because it's like you're gonna watch a movie, you're gonna get a nice dinner, light a fire. It's like comforting. Mm-hmm. And Universal's like that crazy uncle that's gonna let you drive the car when you're not really old enough to drive it.
You've never explained it to me like that before. I don't know.
It's like Disney is like where you go to have a good time and relax and enjoy the experiences and the moments, and Universal is where you go to like go on a roller coaster and let your hair out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Velocicoaster.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah. I mean, Velocicoaster, and like people try to compare like I don't think you can compare roller coasters at Universal to roller coasters at Disney. Universal will have more exciting, more adrenaline, more white knuckle coasters, and that's what they do. Yeah. But I mean, some could say Busch Gardens beats Universal when it comes to roller coasters.
Have you been? Yeah, I haven't been to Busch Gardens since I was a teenager, so I don't remember it as well. I don't know if Bruce has ever. I
don't think I've ever been. I know I've never been to Busch Gardens.
Been to Busch Gardens, but that's interesting.
Yeah, so they have really intense roller coasters, but I think as far as like let's talk about story. So
Yeah.
storyline, theming, Disney.
Disney.
Then you have Universal, then you scale it down for Busch Gardens. It has a story, but it's like, yeah, get on. It looks like it's in Egypt, but then after that, hold on to your hat.
That's great.
They're
That's kind
not
of like
using
what Velocicoaster is, right? Like the Velocicoaster has that. Like it's pretty well themed, the queue, but once you get on, it's like hold on tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
so, but storytelling and attractions is what I really like about Disney. Is a lot of the storytelling elements and things to look at to get you really into it.
Yeah.
Before you actually ride the attraction.
I mean, Cosmic Rewind gives you both of those, right?
That's
like
true.
it gives you the storytelling and it gives you the hold on tight because this is a crazy ride.
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel about that one? Because we haven't talked since that was.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like I love it. It's a lot of fun. I'm a little oriented when I rode it because there's so much to look at, and I've never ridden a roller coaster where you're trying to look at something.
Yeah.
But it is amazing. It's worth, I couldn't ride it twice in a day. I'd ride it once in a day. Some people could ride it like 2, 3, 4 times.
Yeah.
But for me, I can do it once in a day and get my bearings back and just appreciate the music is good. I love the fact that you don't know what song you're going to get.
Yeah.
And there's stuff to look at. Like it's a really cool coaster. It's like, mixing the movement and the screen and a roller coaster and the twisting and turning and the music. There's so many elements that it's very juicy. It's a lot of morsels to chew on.
That will get you in trouble, the looking around, though. That's what I've heard is what in order to not feel like completely out of body, you're just supposed to look straight dead on. But what's the fun in that when there's so much to, like you said, to see. So, but now I know why you can only ride. I'm the same. I can only ride once, twice if I have a nice break in between, but usually not a go.
Because now that I've ridden it, I think if you ride it, then you know where you can focus. You can say, okay, this part I was looking at too much stuff, but I'm going to look at this and watch it. And then next, I'm going to wait and then watch this. I think when I first wrote it, I was looking at too many things. There's so much to look at.
There is so much to look at, man. I've heard, too, that depending on where you sit in the front, middle, or back, it's a little bit of a different experience as well.
I'm sure. So you've written it, right?
Yeah.
So what I like that, I really love the pre-show. I love the pre-show and I love the that nice, I don't want to spoil it, but that nice little surprise they do.
Their pre-show, the cue, everything it's spot on. It's everything I remembered Epcot to be. I know Epcot is going through these changes, and for a little minute there, I mean, it's always going to be my favorite place, my favorite park. But for a minute, I can see why others didn't love Epcot, and I think it's getting back to that now, and just that attraction. I mean, I guess I wish selfishly it wasn't so intense because then I could try to ride it more than once a day. But it's all you really need. I mean,
yeah.
No, I mean, you can't ride it back to back. But let me ask you another controversial question.
Oh gosh, Bruce is on the side.
Bruce, I'm like, what am I on? Fox News? What's happening?
Yeah, this is another one. Is it Glenn Close or is it Meryl Streep in the beginning of that? They look alike, don't they?
You know what? They kind of do, but I only see their characters. But Meryl Streep. So here's how I can tell it's not.
Yeah,
Okay.
Meryl Streep is Cruella DeVille.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And Glenn Close is like Devil's Wear Prada.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are right, am I wrong?
No, you're right. Well, I said it on the podcast. I went on Cosmic Rewind.
Wait, isn't Glenn Close from the Dalmatians? 100.
No, that's Meryl Streep. That's what he's saying.
No, right? I might be wrong though. I might be wrong.
No. Now I'm confused because they do.
So it is the same person. See, we're all saying.
No, wait a minute.
There it is.
We're all proving my point.
Wait, there it is.
Glenn Close. Meryl Streep is Devil's Wear Prada.
There you go.
Glenn Close is Dalmatian. She's Cruella DeVille.
There we go.
Yeah, so she is Cruella DeVille.
There we go. We got it right.
Yeah,
we got in trouble last one.
Well, because I came on here and I said, I said Meryl Streep, the beginning, the pre-show with Meryl Streep,
and I went on and on, and I talked about
it. And then we got 100 emails from people being like, "That wasn't Meryl Streep, that was Glenn Close," and I was like, "Whoops."
Oh, the last Meryl Streep that I see, the movie poster is she's got the candelabra through the hole in her chest.
Oh,
with Bruce Willis.
What movie is that?
Death Becomes Her.
Yes.
That's
you love that movie.
That's like literally one of my all-time favorite movies.
That's
I
an
don't
awesome
know
movie.
what has happened over the years, but I think I've been hanging around Bruce too long. And so whatever he says, I kind of just go with. And he said, it's the same person. I'm saying, all right, whatever.
You say it with confidence, and people believe you.
That's
People
true.
believe.
Yeah.
I think people are missing something, though, because Death Becomes Her is an awesome movie.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen anybody cosplay, because those two ladies at the end of the film,
Yep.
they're going to live forever.
Forever.
So they should be falling apart. And no one cosplays them now. Like, I think that would be awesome. Like, we're still here. I think that'd be great.
Hello.
Or they do a sequel.
Yeah.
They do a sequel with them still walking around, just
We're
like, because
on
they
it.
won't die.
Yeah. I absolutely love that movie. So, oh my gosh, I'm all for that. So much fun. Well, we've been talking a lot about Universal lately too, because they have been really, they've always been, you know, head on head, like rivals with Disney World. But I think more so ever since Wizarding World opened, it's kind of like, hey, we have, you know, a name in this game now. And lately, I think they've been kind of being a little silly with their marketing, but it's always just, it's kind of like a fun kind of rivalry, right?
Well, I think it's good, because if Universal didn't do anything, not that it wouldn't make Disney do anything, but where Universal, they're always trying to like one up each other, right? Like Wizarding World, Galaxy's Edge. Now Universal's opening their third gate, and Disney did Cosmic Rewind. Universal did Jurassic, the Velocicoaster. So it's good. I think it's good to have competition and make people have to improve their game.
I did go on my Twitter.
What'd you do?
So, and I work at Disney, and I do my Twitter. I'm also was the social media host, so I'm very careful in what I do.
Yeah.
But there's a term like if somebody makes a joke and you want to, it came kind of from Bad Boys, when Martin Lawrence wasn't in the mood and somebody was making a joke and he's like, "You got jokes? You got jokes?" That just means establishing like, okay, you're trying to be funny. So when Galaxy's Edge opened, and not opened, sorry, when the Star Cruiser opened,
okay,
they have a shuttle that takes you from the
Star Cruiser
that you did to Galaxy's Edge. Now, in story, you have no idea what you're riding on. They tell you it's a spaceship. You get on the ship. You never see the outside. The way they set it up, where you walk from the docking bay into the starship to travel to Batuu, and you get off and it opens the doors and you get onto the docking bay into Batuu, you can't tell what you're riding in. But it is transportation to get you from one point to the other. So Universal posted it's a big white truck. It said, "Get in, we're going to Universal." And so I posted and I showed it, and I just said, "Y'all got jokes? Y'all got jokes, huh?" And then in the end I said, "It's kind of funny though."
Yeah, I mean it
They
is.
had the big, so
they just did something else too. They just posted like on their Twitter, they said, "Reservations, where we're going, we don't need no reservations."
A sort of a nod to Back to the Future.
Because they're Back to the Future, like their thing.
Yeah, but I tell you what, they have also gotten in trouble for what they do.
Really?
On social media?
On social media, yeah. They got some backlash. So what they do is really funny. Disney will never answer them. That's first and foremost. Disney will not. Disney's like the sleeping giant. It's like, you're going to poke me, but I'm going to keep walking. I am not. If I react to what you do,
then
people are going to, realize that, hey, wait a minute, you affected me. So Disney, they watch, but I have never seen Disney have a rebuttal.
Yeah.
But it is funny. I watch and I laugh. But they did one thing, and I can't remember, but they did get some feedback, because it was kind of like, it ended up being kind of fat shaming.
Oh.
So, so they have to be very careful. It's funny, but sometimes they will hit,
far.
They'll hit a vein, and they think, and it's funny, but it's like, you're still Universal. That's cool, but you can't be petty.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
You
don't
can't
like
be
that.
petty.
Yeah.
So I think they've really focused on really trying not to be petty, and they've been doing a lot better. And like I said, the stuff is funny. I don't think Disney will ever answer to it. They're just going to keep moving, but it's people love it. People eat it up.
Oh, they do. You know what?
They
Disney
eat it
can't, because if Disney rebutted, that would be almost saying like, that by them not rebuttaling, it's almost a rebuttal that we're bigger than that. We don't need to do, we don't need to do fun stuff like that. You may, but we don't.
They have their place, right? So like
that's what makes the two parks different.
Well, yeah, and I think we're lucky and fortunate to be able to have that so close together in such a you know, in a place where people can travel to both if they wanted to in one trip. And I think it's fun because you may have older kids that want that thrill, you know, the roller coaster excitement, white knuckle stuff, and others that, or I found we have had people that this was like an interesting message we've gotten, and it's actually not. It was a few that they had teenagers and they had a hard time getting them to go to Disney because the teenagers thought that they were too old to go to a park with princesses and just did not want to do it. And so the parents convinced them to go because they were going to Universal, and then they snuck in some Disney. But it kind of got those kids to realize, you know, it's okay to be a kid again, but Universal kind of helped open that door for them because it was easier, right? You see the pictures of the Velocicoaster or Hagrid's, and it does look super thrilling, and it's a way to kind of show the kids, you know, sometimes that it's easier said than done, but I thought that was an interesting tidbit that we got from someone.
Yeah,
I don't think Disney is. I mean, you have to get there. I mean, I could see the perception of teenagers not thinking thinking that Disney is princesses, but it's really not. Magic Kingdom's probably the only one that's more focused on that, but the other three parks aren't really at all. I mean, they are kind of, but not what you think of when you think of Animal Kingdom or Hollywood Studios or Epcot. Yeah. You don't think of that.
But I think at the end of the day, I think Disney really, just from their reputation is that they cater to families with children.
Yeah.
I mean, that's even if you try, it's like, this is what you're known for.
Right.
You know, it's like, it's going to be families with children, or they jump to what they call adults without kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so there is that point, that tween or that teenager part where they want to be exciting. They want to feel like this is cool.
Yeah.
So I think, but there's attractions to do that, but not lands to pull that off. The only one right now is really Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. And then you have like the Guardians of the Galaxy, like you mentioned. I think that, but Universal, you know, you have Jurassic Park, you have, you know, Wizarding World, which is like, I really believe that, I think Wizarding World, I think kids like it. So what I'm trying to compare is Star Wars to Wizarding World. And Star Wars has been around long enough that it has captured every age bracket.
Yeah.
You know, and they go lower. You know, it's like you have your animated, you have your TV, you have your movies, you have your live action. You have people that grew up with it in the 70s, still watching it now. So it has a wide spectrum of fandom within the family. Whereas I feel Harry Potter does, but it's not really like it is a children's book, but I mean,
some of it's scary.
Yeah, so it's kind of scary. And like, Star Wars has like first book, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For like where you read to a child.
Right.
You know, I don't think Harry Potter has that that yet.
Yeah, I think everybody knows Star Wars too, because there's, like you said, there's so many different, between movies, TV shows, you know, comic books, there's so many different things Star Wars related for people to consume. Whereas I didn't know anything about Harry Potter, to be honest with you. Our kids watched it, but I didn't know anything about it before we went to the land. And I thought it was intriguing, though, right? Because it made me want to do a little research on what the things I was seeing were, because I didn't really have any context to it.
Well, you know, it was cool because my wife had never seen the films, like really. And so when we got married, I was like, you haven't seen it. We're going to Wizarding World. But she's like, yeah, I saw like the first film. I said, okay, here's how we're doing this. We're going to watch all the films. Yes. She got into it. And then we went to Wizarding World. And I got to see her like walk in and go, whoa. Oh, so it was really cool to, we went in. It was like, here's your homework.
Yeah. That's great homework, right?
Yeah. I think our youngest did that. I think our older two daughters did that with our youngest to see before we were going there to kind of get the whole feel for it. But it's a cool place.
Our older two, like, were, I would say, stronger readers. So they like got involved in the books and then they saw the films, whereas our youngest never did. She's not, she doesn't love reading so much. She loves audiobooks, but that's something. So it really opened the door for her to see like, oh, wow, this really like, this place exists, and it's very immersive, I've got to say.
Yeah, my favorite thing to do is go early in the morning, and we would go early in the morning. We go to like 3 Broomsticks. I'd have this British breakfast with sausages and egg and potato, and I just feel like I'm somewhere else. Yeah. And then like we go and walk around and do the incantations with the wands. And then my favorite ice cream is I'd go get the ice cream, and I would get the apple, because you can get 2 scoops and you get different scoops.
Yeah.
So I would get the apple crumb and the clotted cream.
Ugh.
And when it mixes together, it tastes like a cheesecake.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. There's something about it. And so that's my favorite thing to do.
Apple and then the clotted cream.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to try that.
Yeah. And then like somehow when you eat it, it just kind of like, to me, reminds me of like a cheesecake somehow, like an apple flavored cheesecake, just something, because the apple crumb has like the little crust in it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So it's like,
I'm drooling.
Gives me this kind of, it gives you this like cheesecake feel.
Last Universal question, and then we'll get out of here.
Okay.
Not out of here or the interview, but like out of Universal back to Disney.
Okay. Yeah.
Have you ever been to Halloween Horror Nights? Are you a Halloween Horror Nights kind of person?
Listen, we'll go back a little bit. The reason I like Death Becomes Her is because the effects in the film, they dedicated that film to Dick Smith, who was an amazing makeup artist back in the 70s. And he did The Exorcist. He did, what else did he do? I think Citizen Kane. Like, he's a big makeup artist, right?
Yeah.
Inspiration to a lot of the makeup artists that are here now. So I was really into makeup. So that means I'm into horror movies because I love the makeup. Why I love Death Becomes Her, because it's got a whole bunch of effects in it. And so that's a long way to answer your question, to say I love Halloween Horror Nights, especially when they do my favorite franchise. Like if they have Chucky and Freddy, Jason, they did Silent Hill, which was one of my favorite video games. I was really into The Walking Dead, so I really enjoyed that. They even had Aliens versus Predator House.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
so I really
see
look
that.
forward.
Chucky's this year. I think they're having Chucky this year, aren't they?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what they've announced.
I think Chucky may have Chucky this year.
Because, it would make sense because now, and I forgot, but I was watching the series because, they brought the series to Sci-Fi Channel, I believe. They have a Chucky series, and then they just did season 2.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think a couple years ago they did Stranger Things, and then they did.
Yeah.
Last year they did the old, like all the old
monsters.
horror.
Yeah.
Versus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
which is
pretty
my
good.
favorite.
We went last year for the first time, but I think it's good to go with a group because it's good to see. It's fun to see like your friends get scared.
Yeah. It's good. It's a lot of fun. And I tell you what, Universal is, I would say, fantastic. Probably it's up there when it comes to Halloween. But then I found this other place here in Florida called Screamageddon.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Screamageddon.
It's called Screamageddon. It's out in the middle of nowhere, but it's big.
Oh.
It's like kind of in Zephyr Hills is the town.
Okay.
Where you get your spring water.
Oh no.
That sounds frightening.
Yeah, just like in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere. And so, but it's pretty big. And what you do is you wear a necklace.
Okay.
If you want to be touched, you wear a necklace. I believe. Yeah, you wear a necklace. So,
Brilliant.
For instance, I'll give you an example. What happened to me?
Yeah.
One house was an insane asylum. So you go into the insane asylum, everybody's going in. I got my necklace on because I want to be touched.
You want the full experience. Yeah.
A full experience.
Yeah.
So you're going in with your friends, Bruce. You're walking in. Let's say there's 9 of us. We're all walking in. You walk in, they see you. Not everybody wears the necklace, and not everybody's guaranteed to be interacted with.
Yeah.
I walk into the prison. They grab me and take me, and they said, "You're going in." So they pull me into this door, and they literally take you down the hallway, and they put you in a prison. They put you in a cell, and there's a guy like sleeping on it. So now you're removed from your friends, but people are still going through the house, and they come upon you like you're now. They moved you there. Now you see people going by.
So you're almost part of the show.
You're part of the show. So you're just kind of chilling, and the guy might wake up and say he's going to eat you or something.
No big deal.
And then so as I'm sitting there, then the guy opens a little hole in the wall, and he's like, "Hey, follow me." And I'm like, "Okay." So then I follow him, and then they grab me and say, "You're trying to escape. It's time for your execution." And they grab me, and they took me to another room and put me in an electric chair and tied me down. And now people are walking by, you're just sitting in the chair, and they're like, "Oh, they're like, oh crap, this guy's going to be electrocuted. And so then like they zap it, and then like they take you out, and then they put you somewhere else. So they move you through the house. And then your friends might even go out. So then they put me back in the line to walk through. And as soon as I was getting out, a guy grabbed me and said, "You're not going anywhere." And he pulled me all the way back in and put me back in the cell.
Oh my gosh.
No, thank you.
That's
they'll put you. Yeah, they'll put you in a body bag and zip it up and roll you along if you go, like, depending on the house. Like there was one house that was like a morgue. And they'll grab you, put you in a body bag, zip it up, and push you. You don't know where you're going.
Oh, wow. I'm never putting that necklace on.
Oh, yeah. So those are the things they do. They really interact with you and stuff. And, you know, they have things they'll do. There. Like one time I got put in a dentist chair and they were like acting like they're going to drill my tooth out. So it was a lot of fun. Yeah, it's called Screamageddon.
That's a good idea. I always said they need to do something like that for, you know, I don't know. Sometimes kids get, by kids I mean me, scared at character dining. You know, and like you want to be around the characters, but you don't necessarily want them coming up to you. They should do something like that for that. But that's a great idea.
Like wear a necklace.
Wear a necklace. Be like,
they should do. Yeah, they could do that like they do at the Brazilian steakhouses. You know, you put your meat.
I want more. So like, I'm full.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse comes by and he's like, his face down. He's like, okay, keep on.
Just keep moving on.
Give me a high five and keep going. That's good. That's good in interaction for me.
Wow, that is quite a story. I don't know if I could handle that, but Screamageddon, okay.
Mark, we'll have to go. You'll have to be part of our scare squad when we go to Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah, Bruce is trying to get together.
Definitely, man.
I'm trying to get a group together of people to go to Halloween Horror Nights with us.
Well, it literally says on their website, like, gather your Scream Squad. And I was saying to Bruce, like, we went and we had a really good time, but it was just the two of us. And so eventually it kind of, like, it got stale. Because it's like,
you know what it was? It was that we went, it was our first time going.
Yeah.
And it was just the two of us. So it was like two people who had no idea what to do. We were very much rookies. We're like asking the people, like, where do we go? And, you know, we needed somebody there that knew what they were doing. Yeah. I think that's when you go with somebody for the first time somewhere, it's better to have someone that's experienced.
That knows, yeah. They'll probably say, okay, we're in. Now, walk these scare zones and go way to the back and come forward.
Yeah, exactly.
Which we didn't do.
Right. I mean, we rookie mistake. We kind of went to the first one we saw.
Rookie mistake. You went to the first house you saw. Rookie mistake.
We did a lot of things
you were
wrong.
fresh meat.
Yeah, exactly.
Terrible. I told you we did it wrong.
That's right. It's okay.
Mark, we have a whole bunch of questions here from I know how much time you got? You got like 4 more hours to hang out with us?
Yeah, I got 4 more. I got 3.5.
All right, good. We got a whole bunch of questions here.
It's a glorious 4-hour finale. You got a minute and a half.
We have a whole bunch of questions from our group here. I want to ask you some of these if you don't mind.
Sure.
They're all great questions, by the way.
Okay.
This one is from Kim.
I should have written mine. Okay, yeah.
All right, it says, what is the best change you've seen in Disney in the past year? So in the past couple years, there's been a lot of changes. Like, what's something that has changed that you've enjoyed?
Kim, great question. I think the immersiveness of some of the themed attractions, that's a change and I can see it especially at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Because at Disney's Hollywood Studios, it was about sound stages. It was about seeing like half of the walker. So you can see the other side of it. You know, it's a hot set. Things are real, but then when you get around the corner, you can see how they were made. So I think the immersiveness of the storytelling has changed, and I think that's a fun change to see. A good example is Pandora, and Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah,
Toy Story Land's pretty cool too.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Toy Story Land, but yes, definitely Toy Story Land. Staying with the theming, my wife and I just went to Roundup Barbecue.
Oh yeah,
and the food is amazing. It's really good food, and as you've seen, I'm sure you've seen online. So every once in a while, when they give you a warning that Andy's coming, you have to freeze, and then you'll hear him looking around the toy box like, "I'm looking for my so and so."
Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't see that, but I saw like people were saying that there's some cool, Easter eggs in there from the movies.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of them. But, the idea is that that's Andy's backyard, and he's put all these toys together and created like this whole little backyard roller coaster and restaurant and everything. So it's fun to see when you walk into the Roundup Barbecue, the walls look like cardboard and thumbtacks and playing cards all stacked up, and you're like, I hope this can last in a hurricane, but I'm kidding. But it's fun to see the perforated edges of the cardboard at the edge of the wall and the crayons and all those kind of things.
We often talk about, we like going to the restaurants at Disney, but the theming is kind of part of the restaurant at Disney that you don't get outside of Disney. You don't go to your restaurant down the street near your house and get that kind of theming that goes along with the movie.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, next question from Kevin. This one says, who is a person in Disney that inspires you?
That's a great question. A person in Disney, Kevin, that's a great question, but unfortunately, if I tell you who it is, you won't know who they are.
Give them a shout out, what they do.
Yeah. I want to shout out a friend of mine. His name is Dennis Marsico. When I first became an actor at Disney, he took me under his wing and taught me a lot of tricks and a lot of ways to interact with the guests and find the funny very quickly. So I learned a lot from Dennis Marsico. He taught me a lot in the years I got to work with him. And his friend who passed away, Johnny Sachs. I got to see them work together as a team, and I was always amazed. And his friend passed away, Johnny Sachs, and I got to work with Dennis, and I felt that he treated me like Johnny Sachs. I'm not saying I filled Johnny Sachs's shoes, but I got the great gifts he would give Johnny Sachs. He was given to me, and I got to play in that sandbox and learn a lot. So that's a person you wouldn't know would be Dennis Marsico. Let me see if somebody that inspired me that you would know. Josh D'Amaro. Josh D'Amaro is amazing. He's the president of Walt Disney Parks and Resorts, and just a really fun person. You see him walking around the parks talking about what's coming up next, and he's very, very hands-on with the cast members and the guests. So he's a good inspiration too.
That's good. I'm glad you mentioned somebody too that we wouldn't know. We all know Josh D'Amaro, and I'm sure we've all known the people you see as Imagineers, but it's good to recognize the people behind the scenes a little bit.
Yeah.
He has a second part to his question. Let me see if I can find it here. It says, is there a place in Disney that inspires you or gives you the feels?
Yeah, that's Disney's Animal Kingdom. I can answer that very quickly. I get Disney's Animal Kingdom inspires me, but I get the feels when I go to the feels I get is when I'm at the Magic Kingdom. So a lot of times, when we do new shows or new parades, we're in the park when it's closed. And I get the feels when I stand on Main Street, USA, and it's black and just the lamp lights are on and there is no music. It's nothing. It's just dead silence. And it's just you by yourself watching this theme park that has so many people every day. But right now, it's quiet. You're a cricket and just the lights are illuminated. And my favorite is sometimes I get to be at the park at night when it's in December. So you know how the castle's lit with all the white lights?
Yeah.
Only the castle will be lit and the whole park is dark. Ooh. And you just look at that castle in the silence and it's just goosebumps. It's just like, it has this regalness about it. You know who made it. You know it's not really bricks, and you know there's metal inside, but you can just see what they made, and it's not trying to be anything. I think like when you look at stuff in the daytime, people are trying to get in, you're like, oh, you're just trying to get me into the shops. You're just trying to make me walk this way.
Yeah.
And it's true. We're trying to direct traffic, the horses are going by. You want me to ride the horse, Yeah. But when you just look at it just by itself and you see the beauty of it, just the vision that they saw when they said, no, we're going to build this and people are going to like it. It's beautiful. You don't see that when there's so many people around. Yeah. It doesn't take anything away from it. You know it's beautiful.
Right.
But like I said, you feel like, oh, you like this, so watch it. But when it's silent and it's all the only merit it has is not BGM, it's not Cinderella standing there, it's just doing it by itself. Wow. That's what gives me the feels. The feels, and then what I love is Disney's Animal Kingdom. I think it's the most beautiful theme park at Walt Disney World Resort here in Florida. It is just a beautiful theme park. The trees, when you got to walk through Disney's Animal Kingdom and look at those trees. Yeah. You got to know those trees were not there.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, those trees were not there. They're put there and they look like they're supposed to be there. I mean, I love when the ground is wet because it looks like mud. You don't know it because it's cement. But when they wet it, when you go to Animal Kingdom early in the morning and that ground is wet, it looks like mud. It looks like bicycles. You see bicycle tracks and footprints. It's just the things people don't notice.
Yeah.
So Animal Kingdom has a lot of that. So it'd be Animal Kingdom and Magic Kingdom when there's no one there, just quiet.
Wow, that it just you had me at like no music. Like I can't
Mm-hmm.
imagine what that's. I mean, I'm trying to like picture it
Yeah.
and just how amazing it would be just to be there and just staring at the castle, no music. Wow.
Yeah.
What an
Yeah.
honor.
We got the chance to go to Walt's apartment a couple months ago.
Oh, okay.
We did the like behind what was the name of the tour we did?
It was
The keys to the kingdom?
No, it wasn't
Oh, no,
that one.
behind-
It was walk in Walt's shoes, I think. I don't know if
No.
that
That's
Okay.
not it either. But
wasn't it
keep
either.
going.
it was Meryl Streep. It was called Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep gave you the tour.
Yeah, Meryl Streep was our tour guide.
Okay.
And she took us into Walt's apartment. And but it was cool to actually see Walt's apartment with like such a small group, and
Oh, wow.
he had an apartment in Disneyland. Like to me, that's so crazy.
Yeah, but you know what? If you Walt Disney, man, come on, you know you would.
That's true.
Come on
True.
now.
It's true.
That is
You
very
would.
true.
I
You know what
love
I
it.
wanted to ask you about? My voice just cracked there. I got a little nervous. Your Mark Daniel nerd facts. Where do you find those facts for that? Those nerd facts that you give, or Mark Daniel's fun nerd fact for the day?
Yeah, I talk about storytelling a lot, and that's because my job was in entertainment, is in entertainment, but I also started in entertainment. I did the Electric Light Parade.
Yeah.
So a lot of parades would come along. We'd learn the characters. We'd learn what the movies are about, and a lot of shows would come online, and we would learn secrets. They would tell us, like, not secrets, but I know like the story of what is here. Like if a new attraction's opening, we have to know the story because we play characters that are part of that attraction that you won't see every day. But for the opening, we'll say, did you know, like, this is, let's see here. I'm giving an example, so this doesn't exist. But let's say when Guardians opened,
Yeah.
they would say, this is supposed to be like the World's Fair, right? And you're a character that came from the planet Zoon, and because the reason they're here is because so-and-so. So we get into story, and so I get to learn these things to portray the
Oh,
characters
that's interesting.
in that
Perform.
world. That
Gotcha,
they get
yeah.
deeper that a lot of the guests won't know. Right now, I just made that up. It's not like a World's Fair thing at Galaxy's Guardians of the Galaxy, but that's an example of what I'm talking about. So I'll get a lot more insights on, like, for instance, Dino Land. Like I know so much about it. So I decided those secrets the nerd facts were inspired by Neil deGrasse Tyson, because I used to watch a lot of his videos.
You just said two things Connie loves: Dino Land and Neil deGrasse
Oh, yeah.
Tyson.
I'm
Oh, my
literally
goodness.
like just beaming right now.
Oh yeah. So Neil deGrasse Tyson talks about things that you can't understand in such layman's terms,
Yeah.
but then he loves it. You can tell, like, it's juicy. Like, improvising it, he's like, the sun weighs like 50 million pounds, and and he just tells you the
Wait,
stuff like you
you
should know,
just-
and you're like, yeah, I know.
You just did the voice
That was
so
pretty
well,
good.
just so you know. I was like, whoa, wait, that's so cool. Okay, sorry.
But yeah, so he just loves these morsels, and I was like, so I started just doing like random facts, like what's the tip of a shoelace called, why buttons were invented, and different things like that, and then I had some facts about Disney, but I noticed people really like those facts, and people really didn't know, and I was like, oh, I know a whole bunch of stuff. So a lot of them. Some people will tell me because they know I like facts. Some of them I know. Some of them I look up. And some of them I know how to look around the park and know that there's a secret somewhere. Like 100%. Like because I'm really into storytelling. I can go to the Lion King theater and look around and go, see, okay, there's a poster for a show. What is that show? Oh, it's a poster for a show. I'm like, says that show happened last month. Who's the director? And then I'll start looking, and you'll start seeing the secrets. So I know how to look for those things everywhere. And my wife, she knows it. We'll go somewhere and she'll see me start slowing down. And
That's
she's
so
like, Mark, what are you doing? I'm like, I found something.
That's
I
awesome.
got
I'll be
it.
like, yeah, I could smell a hidden Mickey. I'm like, there's a hidden Mickey somewhere here.
That's so much
So
fun.
Yeah, so she is my wife she's awesome because she's learning and becoming a Disney person. Now, before we got married, she would take her kids to Disney. But she was just like, I take my kids and we have fun. And her kids work for Disney, but she wasn't like, then she married me. So she'd be like, I'd talk about a character and she'd be like, Mark, how do you know so much about the Beast? And I tell her, now she knows. I say, well, I live in these moments. Like I did the Beauty and the Beast stage show. So I know the moments and I remember the moments and I had to watch the moments in the film. So I know the lines and I know he had a red bow on his wrist and she'd be like, and I'm like, because there's so many Disney shows that I got to be a part of where we represent a certain, like for instance, I did the Aladdin parade and the Aladdin parade was a parade at Disney's MGM Studios, now Disney Hollywood Studios. But the parade was simply the part of the movie where Prince Ali comes into Agrabah to show off for Jasmine after the genie grants his wish to make him look like a prince. So I lived in that moment every single day. I knew what the genie turned him into and what the things he gave him. He had the peacocks and the golden camels. And so I lived that for 7 months.
Oh, wow.
So sometimes she'd be like, how do you know? I'm like, well, there's movies that because of the storyline and what I had to portray, I had to learn these things and they had to be a reality for me so I can portray it as real as I could.
That's great.
That's incredible.
I know what Mark's fun fact for the day is tomorrow.
How do you know?
It's going to be, you go to Guardians Cosmic Rewind, and it looks like Meryl Streep, but it's actually really close.
Really close.
Sorry, Mark.
That's funny.
Sorry, Mark.
Brought to you by Bruce.
Yeah, right. If it gets 0 views, blame Bruce.
Yeah. I'll throw a question on your TikTok so you can just be like, let me answer this question.
Yeah, thank you. Engage. I need engagement.
Do you ever stay on property?
That's my question.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What's your favorite? There's another question here from
Lascom.
It says, where's your favorite resort or property to stay on Disney property?
I have 2. The first one is Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge.
I love that one.
Yeah, it's like, you get to see the animals. The food is
next level.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what restaurant you go to, if you go to the quick service, it's good.
Yep.
You go to Sanaa, you go to Jico, you go to
we haven't been to Jico.
Yeah.
It's a little pricey.
What's the buffet one? We went there.
Boma?
Boma. Yeah, Boma. Yeah. Yeah, Jico, I think I ate there. I might not have eaten there. I think I ate at Sanaa and the other one. What did I just say? There's one at Jumbo House.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Good. So good.
Really good. They have a good bread service.
Oh, yeah.
And I also like staying at Wilderness Lodge.
Another good one. You like the deluxe category there, Mark.
Yeah. But you know what? But I'm gonna tell you what. If I got to go down a little, I love Port Orleans.
Yeah.
Riverside.
French Quarter or Riverside?
I think Riverside.
Yeah.
I think I like Riverside. Yeah, I like Riverside. French Quarter. I've never been to New Orleans. I've been to New Orleans once, but I don't remember it because I didn't do much. It was for a Disney event, and I think I just went for like one day.
Gotta get that back down. It's one of my favorite places.
Yeah. So I've only seen New Orleans through Princess and the Frog's eyes.
Yeah. Oh, we actually did it. We were lucky. We did a trip to New Orleans, and then it was like 3 or 4 days, and then we went to Walt Disney World right after. So we went to right across to Florida, and then we stayed at the French Quarter, and I was just floored with the amount of details that Disney did. Wow. Yeah, because it was really, it felt like we were there.
Yeah, they did a good job.
It was really amazing. So
I've been liking the cabins lately. The cabins at Fort Wilderness.
Cool.
Yeah, you know what? We want to stay there. My wife and I want to stay there because we could take our dog.
Yeah, it's cool. Like it's very, you feel like you got your own little apartment. It's in the woods. It's great theming in a good area, and rent the golf cart. So is there anything more fun than renting a golf cart and driving a golf cart around like the resort area?
Yeah, Bruce. Yeah, renting a golf cart at Christmas time and driving around.
That's true.
That's true. Yeah. Oh, yep. Yeah, the energy of that resort is really fun, no matter when you go. But the holidays, my goodness, so much more fun.
All right, cool. So your favorite resort, number 1, if you had to stay at, would be Animal Kingdom Lodge, and then second close would be
Wilderness.
I like those. Those are 2 great places.
Beautiful.
Yeah, Fort Wilderness Lodge.
What's
that lobby is amazing, and at Christmas, my goodness, it's just an amazing lobby. Best lobby ever.
It's gorgeous, especially like the Christmas tree and the holidays. It's
Like you're gonna say Polynesian and get Tonga toast.
Yay. You know what?
You gotta wait for me on that though.
Yeah, I gotta wait. That's unlocking. I still got this is my sleep shirt now.
Is it? Nice.
Yeah, no, seriously.
I gotta send you a new one.
Yeah, I'm telling you, 100%. If my wife comes in and says, Mark, what's your sleep shirt? She'll be like, is this unlocking the magic shirt with a piece of toast on it? I'm like, it's comfortable because I wore it out and now I sleep in it.
All right, I'm gonna send you another one.
All right.
As soon as we get off of this, I'll send you another. Do you think let me ask you this. Do you think annual passes will ever this is a personal question. Okay. Do you think annual passes will ever return for Disney World?
See, you know what, Bruce, I'll be honest with you. No, I don't know anything about that. Like, I don't, I didn't even know they were gone. That's how much I know about it.
All right,
yeah. I really didn't even know they were gone.
Well, I know they're there for Florida residents, but not anybody outside. But we have them for Disneyland, so you can
Bruce
get them
is
there.
just itching to get there. And I said, Bruce, forget it. We're just going to have to move.
I know.
That's it. We're just going to have to move there. That's it.
All right, would you rather? This is a would you rather one. This is from Marissa. Would you rather Cosmic Rewind or Tron Light Cycle run?
I got a story about Tron Light Cycle. It'd be Cosmic Rewind. So I got stuck on Tron.
Did you?
Yeah. Now, let me clarify. You don't have to be stuck on Tron because there's different ways you can ride the attraction, right? You can ride it like a motorcycle, or you can sit in the back.
Yeah.
So I went. I said, we're going to ride in the front. So we went. I said, let's ride in the front because I wanted to ride in the front because I wanted to feel like I was on a motorcycle. I don't want to see anything in front of me. So we did it. I fit fine. It was very comfortable. But the way how I was tall, I had to tuck my little heel behind the fake wheel in the back or whatever. And when I was comfortable, so I didn't think, I'll be stuck. I won't ride it. Everything was perfect. I rode it. I had a great time. But when I went to get off, the way my thighs are long and the way my shin from my knee to my ankle was long, I couldn't get out of the ride because it kind of, when you get into it, gravity, when you lean into it, it drops down and locks you in.
Okay.
So I couldn't really pull my legs out of this S shape because it would drop again and lock me in. So my brother was there, thankfully, and he was able to hold the shin
oh my gosh,
part of it. So when I pushed down, it wouldn't go down and lock me in. So he held it so I could pull myself out. So
was it painful?
No, it wasn't painful.
Oh, good.
No
Okay.
pain. Yeah. Luckily, yeah.
You're like
because you're tall. How tall are you, Mark? Like 6'3", 6'4"?
6'4" and a half, 6'4" and a half. But it's really, like I said, it's really on the length of my hip to my knee and my knee to my ankle. Okay. And I think that is also very long.
Okay.
So I think that's what made the difference. And also I have a big foot. So like literally, a size 13 and a half with how many inches from your ankle to your knee and from your knee to your hip, that made a difference. So if you're really tall, I would say you might want to do the other option.
Which is sit in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if you say you didn't get stuck, if take getting stuck out of the equation.
Yeah, like that little
is it still Cosmic Rewind?
It's still Cosmic Rewind. I like Tron, but I don't enjoy roller coasters as much as I used to.
Yeah.
The G-Forces are fun. I think it's a fun attraction, but the element that makes me choose Cosmic Rewind is the music.
Yeah.
That makes it so much fun, doesn't it?
Yeah. And like, it's just those moments. It's like when you're riding and he's like, no, you're not going to take away rock, whatever he's saying. And you go back and that song kicks in. You go, I know what the song's going to be at. Boom.
Yeah.
It's just like the anticipation is fantastic.
Yeah, I agree.
It's funny how music like that can make the attraction so much better just by a certain song you hear.
Oh, let me tell you something. My wife and I went to Disneyland. And we rode Guardians Breakout.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, the most fun I ever had. I wrote it, and the song was We Need the Funk.
Yeah.
Gotta have that funk. Now, I was telling her, and I couldn't explain it. I said, I do crowd warm-up. And I've been crowd warm-up for Star Wars Celebration. And there's nothing like walking out to like a full arena like you're at a basketball game, a full arena. And they're going to show the trailer for the next Star Wars movie for the first time ever. And that's what they're going to see. And they know that's what they're going to see. And no one has seen it. And I walk out on that stage and I say, Star Wars fans, are you ready? And they go,
Oh my gosh.
because they know they're about to see something only the director, J.J. Abrams, has seen and George Lucas.
Yeah.
And the energy of that room. And I go, who's ready to see the trailer? Who loves Star Wars? That adrenaline, that feeling is something you only get there. But I tell you, when I rode Guardians and it was like We Got the Funk and that thing was dropping and I was singing and screaming and I was just screaming and singing. It was so much fun. Like I hadn't felt like that. The only time I could remember the emotion I had of that much fun and that the goosebumps and everything was doing that as a crowd warmer post.
Wow.
And then going up and down, we want the funk back up and down. I mean, I would do that like 7 times.
Yeah.
Now, I'd pass out, but
well,
the adrenaline was insane.
Yeah. It gives you this like courage and like this just like empowered feeling where, and you can take on the world and have fun doing it. And I agree. That's one of our favorites. Our kids absolutely are just in love with that ride. It's one that, it's funny because I talked about this a long time on the show, is that I love the Tower of Terror. I love the storytelling. I love the Hollywood I love the Hollywood Hotel. I'd never loved the drop because it was just too intense. But somehow in Disneyland, at California Adventure, it's the music, because I could do that all day long.
Yeah.
I just love it.
Yeah. I think it's like sometimes like when you hear a song you love and it gets you excited, you have that feeling anyway of that dropping feeling.
Yeah.
So when it mixed in, your body's kind of like, oh, this is okay because I'm really having a good time.
We got this. So,
yeah. Do you go to Disney? We know you live in Orlando, but do you do you go to Disneyland often?
Not often, but I've been recently. Yeah. I think we've been. I've just been recently. So, but do I go often? Not really. I've probably been to Disneyland. Like, I've been to Disneyland Paris, and I've probably been to Disneyland like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, same with us. We don't go. It's kind of far. Like we're on the East Coast, so it's a it's a long flight over there.
It's cool because what I'll do is like I actually have a gig where I actually work at Skywalker Ranch. They have a picnic, the Lucasfilm picnic. Yeah. So I go to Skywalker Ranch. So when I go, sometimes I'll just make a whole little vacation out of it. Go to Disneyland and go up to San Francisco.
That's awesome.
Is this Skywalker Ranch in San Francisco?
Yeah, it's like Marin County. So yeah, like I go to San Francisco and it's like probably 45 minutes.
Oh, nice.
Outside.
All right, so let me ask you this. Since it's been about an hour, I want to wrap up the show. I think I've had you on long enough. I was going to do some Would You Rather, but I'm going to throw these ones out because I got some other ones for you. Is that okay?
Sure.
I want to do Would You Rather, Disneyland or Disney World. I'm going to take attractions that are in both places. You tell me which one is the one you would rather go on.
Okay.
Space Mountain, Disneyland or Disney World?
Disney World.
Yes.
Yeah, Disney World. Disney World.
I was about to slip in. Disney World.
Oh yeah, Disney World. Yeah, because for some reason, where it is, I just walk past it. I feel like Space Mountain at Disneyland doesn't have the regal mountain.
No, it doesn't.
Whereas when you go to Disney World, like you're like, well, Tron's there now, but you're next to it. You're like, oh, Tron. But you're like, it's just iconic. You're like, yo, I'm going up in there.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. That's the most scary ride. I will never, ever, 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 ever put my hands up on Space Mountain. Never going to happen.
Not being 6'4", for sure.
No, never. I think I'll lose my hand. I will never do it.
It's funny you say that because you're right. In Disney World, Space Mountain kind of draws you to it. In Disneyland, you could like walk right by it. You got to know it's there.
It's like a building. Like it's just kind of like it's So I went to ride once and then I didn't because something happened. So I had Genie. The way they do it, it's not Genie Plus. I think it's Genie Plus, but something happened. So we went to Soarin', which is awesome because my wife had never been this time, and I said, you will not understand that you can stand in the middle and look one way and see there's 2 different theme parks.
Yeah.
And I can call you and be like, yo, I'll be there in 10 minutes.
Right. That's
like you
true.
can't call me like that. Yeah. You're like Magic Kingdom, like Epcot. Yeah, I'll be there in 10 minutes. You're like,
no, you gotta do that.
See you
You
in
could
a few
like be in
hours.
California Adventure. You can go to Disneyland, get a snack, and then go meet the people in the line.
Yeah.
100%. Like you could get a reservation and run over and get some
Yeah.
popcorn.
All right, next one. Haunted Mansion, Disneyland or Disney World?
Disney.
No, with like
No overlay.
No overlay, just the originals.
Yes, because that's right. Because that kind of makes it a little unfair.
Yeah, I like. I'm gonna go with Walt Disney World because that's the first one I saw, and it's like it's a it's a haunted mansion that I'm used to seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The haunted mansion at Disneyland is very New Orleans ish.
It is.
Would you say?
It's pretty.
Kind of plantation ish.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. But it doesn't seem like it seems more abandoned than haunted because of my sensibility to something haunted.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't seem haunted even. Yeah, it doesn't seem like scary from the outside.
Yeah, the haunted mansion at Walt Disney World seems like there's something going on in there.
Are you planning on seeing the new movie? I think it's going to be released this summer. We just saw the trailer.
Yeah, I'm excited. I haven't
Yeah.
the people I've seen that are in it. I'm excited. I haven't seen the trailer yet. You just reminded me. I'm gonna go check it out.
Yeah, it's pretty good. We saw
Sorry, yesterday. Yeah, we went to go see Shazam.
Shazam.
Okay.
Good movie.
How was Shazam? It's good. Okay.
Good. Yeah, I mean, it's for expectations. You just have to set them a certain way. But I always love a movie that's just a feel good movie. Like sometimes I don't want too many emotions, or I'm a crier in the theater, so I sometimes I don't want to handle that. But Shazam, it was just like a fun, uplifting movie. So
Yeah,
I like
it. Seems. Yeah, I haven't seen any of them, but I've seen clips, and the Shazam character looks fun. He looks kind of like a Deadpool type.
Definitely.
Side
it's like
joke.
it's
wall
like
breaking.
great. That's a great way to describe it. It's almost like a PG version of Deadpool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Without the gruesomeness.
I think it's worth
curse
watching
words.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, last one.
Yeah.
Last one. Pirates of the Caribbean, Disneyland or Disney World?
Disneyland.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Disneyland.
Disneyland
takes it. Yeah, Disneyland takes it.
It is more intimate too, right? Like it just.
Yeah.
I agree.
It is. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it like you can pass the restaurant as well?
Yes.
Blue
Okay,
Bayou.
good.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's something about it. It just feels more eerie.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that one better.
Yeah. So what do you have coming up? Is there anything you'd like to share that we can what do you have?
Plug away.
I'm sure you
She's trying to say plug away, Mark. What do you got going
I'm
on?
sure you have a lot coming up, but like if you want to share any, like not to put you on the spot, but
No, really, no. One thing I have coming up is I'm doing a charity event for Give Kids the World. So I'm raising money for Give Kids the World. I did it last year, and it's called Over the Edge.
Okay.
So I'm in the process of raising $1,000.
okay.
And if I raise that money, I will be able to rappel down the side of the Hyatt Orlando
Ooh.
for Give Kids the World. And all the money, all the proceeds go to Give Kids the World. And if you're not familiar with Give Kids the World Village, here in Central Florida, what they do is they actually provide a week-long vacation for free for families that have terminally ill children. And they get to go, they get these bungalows. It's a theme park in there. It's amazing. And they get to just live life without the worries of medical visits and all these things just for a week so they can have a little rest and relaxations for these families that are going through a really hard time.
Where can they go to if they want to donate or check?
So it's a little complicated. So I'm
okay.
going to say it slow so maybe you can post it. So it
Yes.
is GIVE dot GKTW, the acronym for Give Kids the World.
Okay.
And then it's .org /fundraiser / and I got some numbers coming at you 444-3942. So that will become a hyperlink, and then they could just go and anything $5, $10, just to get me closer to my goal. And I'm doing it with my wife and some other friends, so we're team high five. So anything I raise will go to the team as well.
Team high five.
Where are you at right
Team
now?
high
Where are
five.
you at right now for the?
Last I checked, I think I'm at 150 or something like that.
And when is it like over?
April 10th is when it ends.
We got 5 more days from the recording.
got
We're gonna
5
actually
more
have
days.
this come out tomorrow. So
Yeah, we'll have it rushed out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Cool. Thank you.
You know what? To make it easy, we'll do like unlockingthemagic.com/Mark, and I'll have that go to your link.
Okay.
That way, if anybody's listening, just go to unlockingthemagic.com/Mark. Mark will send me the link, and we'll have that forward right over to his page, and let's get him to $1,000. You're gonna
Thank you. I
rappel down
appreciate
the Hyatt.
Yeah, the side of the Hyatt. Yeah, 450 feet.
Okay.
When are you gonna do that? When are you doing that? Once you get to the
April
goal?
April 10th.
Oh.
April 15th. April 15th. So April 10th is when I have to raise by, and
Money.
April 15th is when I go over the side.
Are you nervous?
You know what? Listen.
Okay.
So it's very safe, right?
Yep.
You're safe. They tell you how to do it. You control it. You got a little break and you go down. But I get to the top. You're on the roof now. And so what they do is they test. So on the roof, away from the edge, is like, imagine a giant beam, kind of like, what do you call it? Like a, what do you call it? Like a sawhorse, got the two things, the two legs and the beam across it.
Pommel
Imagine
horse?
that high. Yeah, kind of like a pommel horse, like that. But they have the rope around it so you can hang.
Okay.
So they harness you up, and you're on, and they put you on a little thing.
So you're hanging over the edge?
Not yet.
Oh.
Not yet. No.
Scared
not
me,
yet.
and I'm not even doing it.
Yeah. Not yet. You're safe. You're always safe. Let me say this. You're always safe. But this time you're not on the edge. You are on up top, but you can't tell because you're on the top of the building, and they put the rope on you, and they let you. You stand on a little bucket, and they move the bucket so you can just hang, and they show you how. If you just let go, the brake will hold on, and it will hold your body weight. So they're letting you calm down by saying, "Let it go," and you just hang.
And you just hang. Okay.
Right. So you feel like you push, you let it go down, and you let go again. You just hang. If anything goes wrong, you just let go, and it will stop you right where you are. Okay. So we tried it out. I'm good. All right. So now I'm going out over the edge. So they say, "Okay, Mark, you need to go over the edge and turn around so we can now, strap you in." So I'm strapped in, but there's slack, so I don't feel like anything's holding on to me. So now the bar is right here because I'm tall. Okay, everybody else is moving under the bar because they want you to just go backwards and lean out like this.
Yeah.
You lean back. So I'm like, I can't. So I had to actually, with the looseness, the bar is at the edge of the building. I had to go like this under the bar and lean out with slack. So you're feeling like you're just hanging. So I'm holding on to try to turn around because you have to turn around this way to go down to rappel down the building. And they make you put your hands out like this, and they take a photo of you hanging off the side of the building.
So where's your wife during this?
On the ground, safe.
Okay.
With like all of her fingers and toes crossed.
Okay. Yeah.
Great.
So
I'll be thinking about her that day.
Oh my goodness. So I had to duck under, and I'm like terrified. They're like, I had to hype it up because they're like, "Mark." I'm like, no, give me a second.
Give me a minute.
So I'm like holding on with this. Like, I think I bent the metal when I was holding on to it. So it was like, and then finally they were like, okay, so I like let go one hand, let go the other hand, and you lean back, and they take this amazing photo of like you, and you just see like all the way down like little people, and you just got your hands out.
Wow.
So it was really cool. And then I started lowering myself down the side of the building, which was really cool. Oh. But you don't realize how tight I was gripping that rope. When I finally hit the ground, my hands were stuck like this.
I don't know if I could do that. That's so frightening. I'm so afraid of heights. I don't know if I could do that.
I'm tingling like on the way up to Everest when we're riding Expedition Everest.
Yeah, I know. Like even that like soaring when it goes up. I'm sitting in the thing strapped in, and it goes up to like the. What's the place?
Yeah, my wife won't do it. In fact, after I got down, she's like, "Okay, promise me. I love Give Kids the World. We're going to raise money a different way, Mark." And I was like, she let me do it again.
That's amazing. All right, so go to unlockingthemagic.com/Mark, and that'll bring you to Mark's page, and let's get this up there.
Also, I'm in a movie called Space Pups. Now I don't know, it's going to be streaming, and I don't know what platform just yet.
Okay.
So it's called Space Pups, and I play Hex, who's an alien, but there's 3 aliens. So these 3 aliens are flying in space, and I play Hex, who's the engineer. And because I kind of mess up, we hit a meteor shower and we crash to Earth. But as we're crashing, parts of the ship is falling off. So now we need to go out and get the parts. So there's Ace, RC, and Hex. And so we realize we can't just walk around. We're aliens. So they say we need to see what people think of aliens. So they start watching the wrong YouTube videos and seeing all these trailers for like these movies, horror movies with aliens in it. So they go, well, we can't go out as aliens. So we got to do something people love. So they stumble upon all these dog videos. So they go, oh, people like dogs. So we transform into dogs that can talk. And then we move around trying to find the parts for our spaceship. It's a live action film. And then we meet this family and this little girl helps us out and they're trying to catch us and fun ensues. So it's called Space Pups.
That's awesome.
So awesome.
Yeah. So there's a trailer for it too.
Okay.
So
where can we see the trailer?
I'll send it to you.
Okay.
The trailer's on YouTube, so I'll send it to Bruce.
Okay, awesome.
That's awesome.
We'll definitely link it up here too on the show notes. Space Pups.
And that comes out sometime late April.
Late April.
And if they follow you on Instagram and TikTok, I'm sure you'll mention that, right? Like you'll
definitely, yeah.
Yes.
And if you don't already, my Instagram and TikTok is at LOL 4 Mark Daniel. So LOL 4 Mark Daniel.
I often talk about we've talked about this before on the show, but but I often talk about the LOL for life and where that comes from. And it's like a philosophy that I love, like just sharing now. And it definitely puts everything in perspective.
Yeah, so definitely. Some I live by. So all my branding is all LOL for life. And, speaking of Bruce, I like the saying behind you, flip to you. Let me see it again.
Oh, flip to me.
Flip to you. I like what that says. Stay humble, be kind, work hard.
Yeah.
That's my motto.
Me too. I like that. You gotta work hard and anything is possible.
Yep. Anything is possible, but be humble and just be grateful. That's also what we talk about a lot. And try to instill with our kids too. They're very impressionable.